Hi, I'm April Hemis. I'm a Franklin County farmer. I farm my family's Century Farm. My great-grandfather bought this farm in 1901. They'd farmed it before that, so I'm the fourth generation on this farm, which is approximately 1,000 acres. And now I have corn, soybeans, I have pasture with cattle on it, and a little bit of alfalfa, and that's my farm. This is my 32nd year at home on the farm. So I graduated from Iowa State University in 1982, middle of the farm crisis. I worked several jobs in a bank. I went to Iowa State and worked for an agronomist there doing research, and then at the Iowa Swine Test Station, and then had someone who just was elected to the United States Congress, and I always wanted to work in international agriculture. So I thought, oh, that's my in, I'll go work in DC. Well, that didn't take me long before I said, I have to come home. I have to be outside. My passion was always to come home to the farm. So in 1985, I came home to the farm.
I'm Kelvin Leibold. I work with Iowa State University Extension out of the Hardin County office, just a few miles from here. And I'm an area farm management field specialist serving north central Iowa. Well, the reason I decided to nominate April is because I knew of our long background and association with the Natural Resource Conservation Service, and the fact that she's been involved in a lot of organizations that are concerned about water quality. And so I just thought she was an outstanding candidate for that, and we'd be very successful. So when April came back to the farm, I think we saw a shift in that time from the heavy tillage to more conservation tillage, and then to no-till. And part of that was brought on by the change in the chemicals that were available, but reducing tillage has been one of the big factors in trying to reduce the amount of soil loss and manage nutrients. And again, this farm has some highly erodible land on it, so those are important issues. So no-till has been very helpful. You take a look at the creek banks, again, using pasture to make sure that we're not farming up next to those creek banks is important. So just doing those kinds of things that we see, trying to manage water quality, investing in tile to control the water flow. So those are all things that she's involved with here on the farm.
Conserving the land has become so important, especially in the past few years, especially water quality and the laws and things coming down. And we know that if we don't do it right, there are going to be limitations put on us and more strict regulations than we already have. And so we really have to take a close look at what we do and how we do it and care for the land that we have. And that is really what I see a major thing to look for the future is how we do what we do and promoting it to the public, because a lot of the things they want us to do, we're already doing. We're already doing these things on our farm. They just don't know it. We're not very good about talking about ourselves and what we do, and there's a lot of misconceptions out there. So we need to promote our good soil health practices and what we do on the farm far more, and also at the same time keep doing the good job we're doing and saving our soil and improving water quality. Well, my conservation started a long time ago, mostly with my grandpa. When we had alfalfa for our cattle, we always planted them on the side hills, and I have a lot of highly erodible ground here. And I was like, Grandpa, why are we doing that? Well, it keeps the soil there. And so, you were taught at a young age. Now, it's a lot just common sense. Well, then when I came back to the farm, I served as a soil and water commissioner for Franklin County, and I still am today. So I think this is like my 25th year on that board, but I just love it so much because you can see the dollars being put to good use, being used to save our soil and our water and changing dramatically water quality. So what I do on my farm, I have 2 creeks that run through my farm and planted filter strips, or my pasture was along the creek, so that really helps save the soil. Don't till as much hardly anymore. I do no-till. I no-till a lot of my soybeans into corn stubble. The corn behind me was a soybean field last year, and I just ran a soil finisher over it once and then planted it, so not disturbing the soil as much, using as few chemicals as I can, and just really paying attention to what works for my farm and how to better improve soil quality. I think what brings me back to the farm is just the love of the land. It sounds so quaint and trite, but it's so true. You know, the tradition that has been on this farm of my family, being able to raise my children on the same farm, and it's just the love of planting things and watching them grow.